All right, again, happy Easter. It is Sunday, April 12th. And I didn't really have a whole lot that I wanted to talk about or train about or anything tonight. But again, I love our habits. I love our routine. I love the fact that this is part of what we do and how we join. And I just wanted us to come together. I mean, the more I thought about Easter, the more I thought about our family and our friendships and the community that we have. So why wouldn't we come together, right? So I guess I better mute everybody out, huh? Always forget to do that. All right, everybody's muted. The three words that I did come up with, and it has, at first I asked my kids, I wanted them to help me, but they were really not a whole lot of help. I was like, give me three words that you think of for motivation and for encouragement whenever you're, working towards something. It can do with Easter. It doesn't have to do with Easter. They did nothing. They were not helping me today. So something that just hit me were create, shape, and develop. Create, shape, and develop. And again, I mean, as I read those words and I saw those words, it went along with like mindset, and it was on the it has like an image of fixed mindset and growth mindset. But how many of you prepared anything for Easter today? I saw a lot of yummy desserts. Brent, Nikki, yeah, she called you out with your dessert and all those beautiful berries. So, I mean, when you think about that, the preparation that goes into, because it's just different right now, right? So what we're putting together and what we're creating and shaping for our Easter celebrations are still family focused and all about the celebration and the spirit of what it represents, but it's all very different. So we still did it. Well, Mary Jo is hanging out here. Sorry, Mary Jo. We still did it though, right? We still did the things that we needed to do. We still put the things together that we needed to put together, and we still had our form of Easter celebration, whatever it is that you did today, I ended up with chicken noodle soup. Who makes chicken noodle soup on Easter? But create, shape, and develop can go into so many different angles though, and thinking about the different things that we do and the growth. And if we just stayed so focused on what we couldn't do right now, how we couldn't celebrate, we would really steal our joy from what today truly represents and what it truly is. The person that I really want to share on our Zoom today, and he has no idea I'm getting ready to ask him to do this, but he and she have knocked it out of the freaking ballpark. And if you were with us, and I think everybody was with us on the last Zoom, whenever Brent shared all of his videos and all of the things that he's been going through and the different thing that he's been training and committed to with Lisa and Amanda and all of them. Well, they have three new customers that they have just added to their team. So I want everybody to, again, we've got everybody muted, but I'm going to unmute you, Brent. And again, I know you had no idea that this was coming, but I just want to share. I want you to share. Because again, how you feeling? How you feeling about the growth of your team? How are you and Nikki? I know y'all are talking about it. Share with us.
Good evening, everybody. I would have to say, we are ecstatic. We went through a long, hard, dry spell, very discouraging. We never gave up, but I'll admit, things slacked. I think you're a little bit more amped when things are happening and moving along. And I gotta say, I think Lisa started it off right. I committed to that 5 day Zoom training because I said, right now I have nothing more than time, and I'm only I'm investing in myself. What can I go learn? What can I relearn? What am I ready to hear today that I've heard 100 times before that I'm going to be able to put into practical action? And doing that, and then the different trainings that Lisa shared, last Monday morning's call, and then the Zoom with Susan, that was phenomenal. And then Terry's, Wednesday and Friday, that was great. But what really kept being driven home is, at this time where we are today, exactly what Lisa talked about, with today being Easter, how can we be there for somebody else? And our first customer, she's a friend of the family. She lives in Ohio. I've maybe talked to this woman 3 times in my life, but I'm very good friends with her father. And I was joking with Nicole. October 22nd of 2018, I set up an account for her. She wanted some information, and then it didn't want to go anywhere. Out of nowhere, she sends me a Facebook Messenger message. Okay, what do I, or what's it going to cost me to join Thrive? And I chuckled and I said, well, you're already there. You already have the account. And it just started, a conversation with her and going over some stuff. And the one thing that we've heard so many times is third-party validation, third-party validation, third-party validation. She has a friend out in Ohio, or I don't even know where the friend is, but all of a sudden her friend was talking on Facebook about how amazing she was feeling because she's doing this thing called Thrive, and that was her third party validation. I didn't have to call Lisa or anybody else. She saw it somewhere else and came back to me and says, okay, I'm ready. And I spent some time talking with her and re-got her login and stuff, and we got an order placed for her. And I told her, I said, the one thing we're going to do, I said, before you do anything, as soon as you get your product, we're going to do a third-party call with my friend Lisa. And I mean, she was totally open to it. She had no problem. And we might have talked about this last week. And I got Lisa on the phone and they had a 35, 40-minute conversation. And, and that kind of really lit a fire in her because she heard that she could do this for free if she got friends to do it along with her. And so she reached out to me and she says, hey, she says, my boss is kind of interested in this. And she got us set up in a 3-way chat, and her boss was not very talkative. It was kind of like pulling a tooth, and I'm just like, I'm not going to push. I'm there. She knows where the chat box is. Out of nowhere yesterday, she gets a hold of me and she's like, hey, my boss is getting ready to order. And I'm like, whoa, hold on, let's get an account set up for her. And I reached out to Lisa because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I've never done a customer account before, so it was all new. And so I've got my customer on the phone, and I'm looking at it from my promoter screen, and it's totally different than a customer screen, and it's not working. So I'm going back through Facebook messages from like a year and a half ago, trying to find somebody where I sent them their username and password so I could log into their account as a customer. And long story short, we got it. Her boss is really interested. And the funny thing was, her boss saw someone else talk about Thrive. Now all of a sudden her employees talking about Thrive. So she wanted to do it. All of a sudden, out of nowhere this morning, my customer sends me a message. I got somebody else that just placed an order. She remembered from yesterday how to set the account up, did everything. She talked to her, and boom, now all of a sudden she has 2 customers. And, I guess the moral of the story is, by just being there, loving on somebody, showing them that we really care, it's not about a sale. I'm going to fall back to that thing that they used in that Zoom. If you're making friends just for a sale, that's not friendship, it's prostitution. And, I think my customer, Nicole, she is blown out of the water how caring and compassionate she has seen our team with the connection she's had between Nikki, Lisa, and myself. And she's like, she goes, I love that. She goes, that amazes me. And I'm here to tell you, if we wouldn't have done that, I don't know if she'd be as active as she is, sharing what's going on in her life. So I guess this week's moral of the story, love on your people. A lot of us have a lot of time right now. I'm looking at the screen and I know there's some faces up there that are still working, but don't ever give up on those people that didn't act on that account. If they reach out, or when we're doing our reach outs, love on those people, because I have 3 new accounts and I didn't do a heck of a lot for them. I planted the seed a year and a half ago, and that seed germinated itself twice.
I
You know,
love
uh,
it. I
when,
want to interrupt you right there because I want to brag on you, because the fact is you have done a lot. You have been present, you have shared, you have posted, you have done all of those things where they are watching and they are seeing, and you planted that seed initially. But let me tell you guys, Brent has done it completely. He has taken care of her, and he's like, hey, good morning. I wake up to these text messages because you guys are an hour ahead of me. Hey, good morning, Nicole. Tell me what you're loving today. So because again, it wasn't like, hey, Nicole, what do you think about Thrive? Or hey, Nicole, what did you do today? It was, he already made the decision for her. And again, it made and created that atmosphere. So then what was happening, what was taking place when Nicole, because she wasn't feeling well, she's gone through some detox. Has anybody had their hands and feet sweating? Have you guys had anybody? Mary Jo's, yes. I've never had anyone detox that had a hands and feet. And I'm guessing that that's probably metabolism and everything. But how did she respond to you whenever because I know you did exactly, you pointed her back into the direction. So how was she with all of that?
She's never barked at anything. She's reached out, and I've told her, I don't know. I'm going to check. Let me check with people that have been doing it longer than me. Let me see what kind of input I can get. And Lisa had chimed in on the one part. She was thinking detox, but this morning I'm like, oh man, she's been loving this. Today's day 9 for her. And she comes out of the box with, well, oh, my hands and feet are sweating. I'm like, no. We need to, and the key word from last week, we need to pivot this thought, back into some positive. Yeah, okay, you haven't drank coffee in 9 days. You're sleeping like a baby. You're feeling good all day, and I didn't even have to go there. She reached out, she got some reassurance. And that was first thing this morning. And 2 hours later, hey, just so you know, my good friend just ordered. So if she wasn't liking it, she wouldn't be doing it.
Exactly. Oh yeah, by the way, so congratulations though, but you are a perfect example of what we continue to talk about. We can take on this knowledge, we can plug ourselves in physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. We do some things with like conference and GoPro and different things that we have done in the past, and it's useless. It is absolutely useless if you do not start putting that stuff into action. And you can't tell me that Brent's confidence is not, off the charts now, because again, you get in that lull, and it's not that every single customer that has a good experience is going to respond, like you said. And just like whenever we were talking, that first initial conversation, it normally is a 10 or 15-minute conversation, but she was so inquisitive and she was asking questions, and she was sharing very personal things. So we were going back and forth, so again, it's that wonderful relationship. And the fact that it's not just Brent that's in there with her, or just me that's in there with her. Nikki's also in there. So she's got all of these resources that she is truly surrounded with. And she is just loving it, absolutely loving it. And again, these 2 new customers, no credits to get them to order. no specials to get them to order, no bonuses. They completely full on jumped right in and placed their order. So people are ordering. People are
And not
ordering.
and not even just ordered. The first one upgraded the DFTs and spent the extra $40 to get the different DFTs even.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
And
love it.
you know, the funny thing is, you know, I mean, I've briefly, and I'm not going in that arena with her right now, but I told her a little bit about the business opportunity, and she's not even looking at this like, let me get these people so I can go into business. Her goal, and I'm working with her on the goal. I told her from day one, I said, Nicole, my goal for you now is for you not to have to pay for this. And in a week, she did it. A
Yeah.
week, she did it.
Yeah. She's in. She's done it. I love it. I love it. Thank
And
you
I
so
told her today, I said, you know, not to push. I said, but let's not stop there.
much.
Just for the
You're right.
fact is because people start and stop using the product. And if
Mhm.
you only have two and you lose one, you don't have two auto ships there. So it's always nice to have a little cushion. And I really don't think she will. She's loving this Thrive experience.
That's awesome.
You know, she's
And this is where we teach her or them that duplication. So again, you just want to make sure that they're getting connected to that third party validation. They're getting added to the What is Thrive. All of those things that just come along to where it's going to be that resource center for them as well.
yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brent. Does anybody
thank
have a
you.
question for Brent? I mean, because again, I feel like this is just such a wonderful example of those perfect plans whenever, you know, he was the one that was doing our training last week. And then now look at him this week. So who wants to do the training next week, right? Is this what we're going to step into? Does anybody, I mean, raise your hand. Do you have anything that you all want to ask that, you know, that maybe Brent or I have not covered, that you have questions about kind of what he has been doing or how he's been doing it? All right, let me find you, Rick. All right.
If I would say one thing, and I learned this somewhere along the line, if you have a new customer, you know, I lead with, tell me how amazing you're feeling today, because I already set the question. I'm not asking how you felt, because that's giving them the opportunity. Well, I didn't feel this, I didn't feel that. No, I asked how amazing you're feeling. And that kind of sets the tone. So my last little tidbit, and I'll be quiet.
I love it. Go ahead, Rick.
What is the training that you were doing?
The
What's that,
training
Rick?
that you did. What was the training that you did? He wanted to know what that training was.
The training that I did, it was done by 200K leaders that got together and collectively did a training. And a lot of the training they do is open to any network marketers. They all happen to be in the same business we're in, but they don't talk about their business. I mean, people know what they do, but there was people that sold candles. There was people that did, you know, it could be Pampered Chef. It could be whatever kind of network marketing or multi-level marketing that they did. I have access to all the links for the videos because they recorded them all. If anybody's interested, or maybe I'll grab them and tonight and throw them in as hyperlinks in the group tonight later on. I can do that if anybody wants to. Each one of them is about an hour and a half long. There was one night that we had to cut it a little short. It was an hour because Paul and oh my goodness,
I always forget his name too.
the president.
Drew.
Paul and Drew did their Q&A session that night. So there was 5 of those, and then the one that I had talked about and shared the one link on the Instagram stuff. But if anybody's interested, or I could just throw them in there, you know, a lot of us have time now, and I think I've actually gone back to the recordings a little bit, because now that they're recording, I can go through and I'm looking at my notes and I can stop the video and make some notes, or if I got to go take the dog out or do something and I can come back to it. So that's kind of nice that they did record them all, and it is all available. So,
Well, and I think that's a great point too, because again, sit down and listen to it for 30 minutes. I bet you're going to get a lot of knowledge in just 30 minutes that then you can in turn go and put it into place, because an hour and a half is a long time.
It
So,
is.
you know, maybe throw a couple of those links in there that you found. Was like Instagram, I think, is great, but if we're just still trying to just really get comfortable with the basics, the true basics that they covered. So if you've got a couple of those links, and guys, when Brent puts those in there, save it, copy that link and save it in your notes so that you'll have that you can go back and check out. Awesome. Thank you. And again, I didn't want to keep you guys tonight. I know it's Easter. The other thing that I did want to talk about is we are going to be creating that accountability group. I know some of you have been able to hop on with that Susan, which Brent just went over that with you. The Susan Kaufman, you know, the Zoom that she does on Monday mornings at 7:45. And then we joined up with Terry Krakowski and Jody Peterson on Wednesday mornings at 7 a.m. and Friday morning at 7 a.m. And there's nothing that's really truly magical that we've done or said in there, but I think it is just such an awesome accountability group for us to get on, get it done, get it out there, and you're able to get feedback, you know, throughout the day whenever you get it done so early in the morning. Jerry, Julie, you guys want to share anything before we wrap this up? Look, y'all just smile and shake your head. Anyone else got anything that they'd like to share? Questions? Good. That's always good. Well, I appreciate you guys. And again, I think the most important thing for us to do, and Brent nailed it, love on people. Absolutely love on people. It doesn't have to be about Thrive right now. You know, I don't know where you guys are at, but I'm hearing we may be like this for another month. And that is like craziness. You know, I mean, you just can't wrap your mind around it. But again, it's not just me. It's not just my community. It's not just my town. It's not just my state. It is our world that is in this position. So I did a post today, you know, that I'm going to try it in different ways, you know, different times, and just talking about the fact that, you know, because I do pay forward, I do credits, or I do a free gift all the time. And the fact that I don't have to go to the post office, I don't have to carry products on hand. You know, I have people say, you know, well, whenever, you know, things get back to normal, maybe I can take a look at it. I'm like, oh, I'm not coming. I don't have to come to your house and do a show. So, you know, it helps people see and know, you know, what we do and how we do what we do. So again, I hope to see you guys in the morning, 7:15. I haven't seen the clip. Usually it's in either Sheila's or Maria's with Susan Kaufman's, the number and everything for that. But then we'll be joining again. And if you can't make it every morning, don't feel like you can't be a part of the accountability. Again, you know, it is something that we can hop on. We can be, you know, together. And I just think it makes a big difference, especially if you are wanting to take this business to the next level.
Hey, Lisa.
Anything? Yep, go ahead.
Would the link from last week, the phone number and the Zoom link, be the same? It might just be a different speaker on the call at 7:15.
Yes, you are correct.
So we could go back through the chat and find it that way too if we need it.
Yes, okay. Exactly. She's always uses I think it's always the same. The only thing is I'm guessing the passcode will be the same as far as the Zoom. That's been the new thing that's been a little bit different. So keep doing what you guys are doing though. Don't feel like it's about a matter of getting a sale, but at the same time they're happening. They're still happening. Getting that information out and just helping people. People are broken. It's amazing just what a difference you can make just reaching in and loving on somebody. So thank you guys again for taking time away. Happy Easter. Lots of loves and big hugs. Bye guys.